Okay, we are back for another episode of Shooting the Shit. We have my bruh Elite and my bruh Genuine Tenacity on here. And I am Amber Moore, aka Cupid. We are gonna have some conversation. We actually gonna talk about two subjects. And this one, the first one is this thing about studs. There is an issue, and I know one of my brothers, my brother Elite, does not get on social media as much as the rest of us do. So we have to kind of, educate her to what's going on out there. Well, apparently there is a argument. You ready? Between older studs and the younger studs. The older studs, not us, because we are we're not that type of studs. But there are studs out there that are older that are saying to these young kids, there are rules to being a stud. You cannot twerk. You cannot have long hair. You cannot get lace fronts. You cannot wear makeup. You cannot. This is what the cannot. That's all they keep saying is you cannot. You cannot. Here's my thing. Because, and this is the thing to our audience, on here right now, you have different age groups on here. So we have a good observation to be able to give you the fact that my opinion is there aren't any rules. Be who you want to be. Now, also, I'm gonna take it even deeper. These older studs are saying, you studs cannot lay on your back. You studs cannot get, and you know how we are on here. Be real. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it. You can't get no head. You only give it. You don't put your legs up. You can't. And I'm gonna say this. And my brothers will all put their 2 cents in just a moment. I am not one about penetration. That ain't my thing to get done to me. I love doing it to my woman, but she's not gonna strap up and do it to me. Okay. A lot of people, and this is just older studs are saying that's a no all the way around. Just don't even think about it. Some studs are a little different. What you do in your bedroom, in my opinion, as long as I ain't in it with you, we good. I try to keep things on the 3 F's. If you're not feeding, fucking, or financing me, I don't really care what you do at your house.
Now, those are my 3 F's. Those are my 3 F's right there, Jack.
Tell me, bros, from what I just told y'all, as older stud, as younger stud, in this case, talk to me. What is wrong? What are we doing wrong here? What's wrong with that kind of observation?
I just think that, like, when you're in a relationship, no matter if it's with, in a homosexual relationship or a heterosexual, it doesn't matter. Like, you should be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't have no rules to it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, why does it matter if you act a little bit more feminine than the next stud, or if you wear a little like tighter clothes, or if you sag, or you have baggy clothes? It shouldn't matter. I don't feel like there should be rules. But I mean, my preference is my preference. Like, I do feel like I don't think that studs should get strapped, but that's just my opinion. But I mean, hey, I just feel like whatever goes on behind closed doors, that's their business.
But does that make that stud less of a stud because they do? Let's just say we got bros. We don't know what our bros do in their private life.
They're gonna lie anyway. They're gonna lie anyway.
Right, it ain't hard. Nah.
See, I'm one of those that I'll tell you the truth. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty much anybody who knows me, knows my career, knows that you will see pictures of me in stilettos. Now lately my feet hurt, so I don't even know if I can get them on anymore. But because of my pro career, outside of that career, of course, no. But I am one of those studs that wears, the ripped jeans. I do wear them a little tighter than others do. As you see, I do keep my hair long. I refuse to cut my hair. There are times I wear makeup or wear a base or whatever. It just depends on what's going on. Majority of the time I don't, but I'm very adamant about I'm not going to cut my hair. I will not And I've had that question asked a lot. As far as my bedroom goes, the way I am is, whatever my partner is comfortable with, I'm pretty much, okay with in a sense. Now, the strap thing has nothing to do with being a dominant female or a stud. I'm just not one of those people that's been an enjoyment for me. So to me, it has nothing to do with being based on whether I'm dominant or not. As far as on my back, I'm a weightlifter. I'm a big person. I'm a big girl. So.
And let's be clear, because our audience
I gotta stand up. I gotta kind of hold up a little bit. I don't want to put all that weight on them. I got 17-inch arms. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
hold on a minute. You might break her. You're gonna break her.
The words of being dominant. Dominant is more or less, she's on a more masculine end of a dominant, because we do have dominant female films that are dominant films.
No, I'm definitely not that.
That we utilize that word properly. That is, I'm having to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely not that.
So, but now here's my thing. Here's a question. Those studs that are older, that are trying to dictate to these younger studs what they can and cannot be, or can and cannot do, and the key words that they use is, you're not a stud if you do those things. What kind of, I don't want to say damage, but what kind of consequences will we see in the future by somebody doing that to a younger group of people?
I think it is damaging. I think it is damaging because then you get, I think it's already a confusion with the younger generation of what a dominant female should be, or what a stud, quote unquote, should be. And then we're also talking about different races of people too, as well. I want to put that there and see things differently, but it puts a pressure there. It's like, okay, if I really like this, I can't let another stud know that, because I'll be judged. So again, that being uncomfortable already with being gay, with being a stud. So now you're adding on top of that. And I'm going to step out a little bit further and add in, just like you'll have these studs that say, okay, well, you're a stud, so you can't date another stud, or you can't date another dominant female. And I think that's ridiculous too. I've dated cowgirls, I've dated other weightlifters, I've dated, and to me, it's about the security of who you are and what your definition of dominant is. Now, no, I don't. Again, when I talk about the makeup and things like that, that's because I am a competitive bodybuilder, and there are certain times that I have to wear certain things depending on what I'm asked to do. But no, on a regular basis, I'm not at the nail shop. I am getting my hair done, but I'm not at the nail shop. I'm not going to be in makeup. But that's my comfort zone, because I've been out with that all my life. I was a debutante. I will tell people that my mother sent someone backstage to make sure I did not have my basketball shoes on under my formal, because I've always been that tomboyish type anyway. We had to fight, for what she wanted me to wear at certain times, but she never changed who I was. She just let me know, okay, at certain times, I need you to do this, for this reason. But the rest of the time, be you. You know what I mean? So, you go into your first communion as a 10 or 11-year-old, she's not going to let me wear a suit. But she let me be more of a dominant. I could wear my slacks. I could wear, so she met me in the middle and let me be who I wanted to be. So I think that pressure of somebody telling you what you should look like and who you should be adds on to the confusion, which is one of the things we run into as our organization in collegiate of trying to figure out who I am and trying to, if you're gonna gravitate toward people who you say are like mind or understand who you are, then we should understand and be more open and aware of letting this person grow into who they are. Over the years, if you look at me over the years, I've become more and more and more, I don't want to say dominant mind-wise, but maybe appearance-wise. Bro, if you go back to, I'd say 2009, when I first came into the organization, I probably was more in the middle than where I am today. I'm probably more of what you want to call a harder stud looking, I guess you would say. And it has nothing to do with my comfort zone. It just has to do with where I am in life now. You know what I mean? I'm not doing as many photo shoots, or I'm not doing as many magazine covers or things like that. And at the end of the day, I just finally said, screw it. You're either going to have me on the front of this magazine in this tux, or you're not, of where, as they say, keep living. You know, the older you get, keep living. But I would never, ever, ever, as we have, you know, a younger stud on the line, which is close to my heart, I would never, ever, ever tell, you know, you that this is the way you should be or not be, you know, as a stud. You know, if anything, I want to support who you are as a stud.
And I feel like it's mainly about being your true, authentic self. You know, you can't sit there and just think about what you should be, because that's what people are telling you. You have to just be your true, authentic self.
So these older studs that are saying this, does that mean that they have, are we going to say, and I mean, we're stepping out there doing a lot of saying on them, but are we saying that the reason why they feel that way is because of their insecurities?
I definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, because I mean, I've listened to the videos that they've done in terms of the way they speak about it is like, you can't do this. You're not a stud. You can't do this. My thing is, I'm not doing it. If I don't want to do it, that don't mean you can't do it.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's something that if that's what makes you happy, do what you do. Now, again, I like soft legs, so I'm not gonna be getting out. I don't want a stud. We ain't gonna do nothing but argue. Who taking off who clothes? I don't have time for that. I'm too old for that. You know. Look.
Well, you know, I've always told you I'm an equal opportunity stud.
I know, so. and I'm not, and I'm being real clear, and I'm not. I'm equal opportunity in the film department, in the film, like you know, a BBW. I'm down for her. You know, that's where I am an equal opportunity, is on the film spectrum.
But on a real tip, you know, as I tell people, I think a lot of times that's an image that people worry about. Okay, well, I can't walk around with another stud, but you know, that may be the blessing and the person that if whoever it is you believe in has sent into your life, and because you're listening to someone else, that blessing has passed by you. That angel that God may have sent, or whomever you believe in, into your life, you've decided because somebody else told you how you should be to not even pay attention or take time out for that person, you know, and they walk right on through your life. And that's the part that I have an issue with, you know what I mean? Or somebody, again, we have society already telling us what we should and should not do, or they're trying to be men, or they're trying to this, or they're trying to do that, which causes the issue of not being comfortable out in society. Okay, you go into that closet and say, okay, I want to wear my suit, but maybe I'll wear this jacket that passes both ways, or, you know, this is a masculine shoe I like, but maybe I'll wear this one that's kind of down the middle of the stream. You know what I mean? So you're already going through those things because it's like, okay, if I go to this interview, are they going to hire me because I'm so dominant? Then you have what you would hope would be support in the dominant world telling you, you can't do this or you're not. Well, who made those rules? Who decided that? If we already have pressure coming from everywhere else, why do we need to put pressure on each other in that manner?
And I also feel, go ahead.
No, that's all I had.
No, I also feel like with the older people saying that, I mean, I get a lot that I shouldn't be in the profession that I'm in because I am a stud. So it's like, that's a feminine job, you know, like, or I should be a construction worker, or, you know, a policeman or something like that. Like, no, like, I feel like money is money at the end of the day. Who said that, you know, jobs should only be for studs or for men? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like that's just something I think about daily, because it's mind blowing.
Well, that's like growing up as a kid and they're telling you, you know, that, okay, you can't play this sport or do that sport, or you play the piano, not the drums, and I'm a drummer, you know, and, you know, or this job is only for men. You know, that's 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever it is, wherever it's coming from. And the same thing of grooming boys and girls, men and women, you know, and this disparity and this gap that we have, it's the same thing. You know, you can't do this because you're a woman. Says who? You know, why? And who are you to decide what my talent? I'm an artist. I draw, I paint. I'm a musician. So you're telling me that as a stud, that's not what I can do? I need to be over here doing this. You have some great writers and professors and teachers and as you say, entrepreneurs. And you're going to say, because this is a feminine job? Who said that?
Exactly. Who made this rule book? Like, it's very perturbing.
Right now you're going through that with the kitchen set, little children kitchen set. Saying little boys can't have kitchen sets. People not realize that chefs For men, cooking. I would prefer, if my child asked me for a kitchen set, I'm gonna get it for him, because guess what? A great chef could be brought out of that. He could own his own restaurant doing that. He could feed the homeless doing that. Hell, he could feed himself.
And I actually had
a problem with those things.
Yeah, I actually had a parent come to me and tell me that she doesn't want her child to play with anything pink or purple. And it was a little boy. And I told her, I can't stop that, and I'm not going to stop that. So, and then she got upset, and she ended up taking him out of the daycare, which is fine. But that's not something I'm going to do.
Well, that's a toxic behavior right there too, because that would be toxic toward other kids in your daycare. You know what I mean? Okay,
right?
Yeah, you got Hollywood stars that are wearing fuchsia suits and
exactly
different color suits and ties. And, it's ridiculous. It's a color. It's a color.
Yep, it's just a color.
I think that as a stud, if you are a stud, that because there's so many different versions of the spectrum of being a stud, that basically being a masculine identified gay female is probably a better way of saying it. And stud just is small, but I'm hearing people not wanting to be identified as a stud because of what these older studs are saying. Because you make it so like, well, if I got to be that, I don't want to do this. I don't want that title.
Absolutely.
And I think that's wrong in the fact that I feel like there's so many different, some of our studs wear, they like wearing feminine clothing. By all means, do what you do. I only like the label, but a simple fact, I understand how to address you. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think it's necessary. I think the role that us as older studs are supposed to be doing is mentoring. Because you got studs out here that family is not teaching them. They are lost. So they are perpetuating the inappropriate behavior of Black men. But
agreed. And let's go here. When you talk about, I'm gonna go to the musician thing again too. And when you talk about artists, we're eclectic. You know what I mean? So it's no telling what I may be wearing, playing in this band. Because we're eclectic. We wear, especially if you're into pop and into rock or what have you. And that's just what we do as musicians. That's just what we do as artists. And that should not define who I am because of what I'm wearing while I'm playing drums or while, it's crazy. I got this fedora on that I like, and it just happens to be a red bottom fedora. Really?
Mm-hmm. I think I think that we have to realize, and this is something that I don't think these studs have realized, these older studs, is that not too long ago, let's just say 80, maybe 90 years ago, women overall could not vote, could not have a job.
Couldn't wear pants.
Huh?
Couldn't wear pants.
Couldn't wear pants. So as a woman, period, we had no rights, right? So now you have some of those gay women, some of those lesbians that were masculine identified at that time would go into, let's say, Marshalls and go to the right in the women's department, pull a more boyish look, but from the feminine dress department to be able to go into their jobs with slacks on, that kind of thing. They broke that seal so that you men and the younger crew can wear. From my group, we can wear suits to an interview. So the younger group, I'm proud of the fact that they can do whatever they want to do. Y'all can dress any way y'all want, and y'all can identify yourselves technically any way you want in the stud spectrum, right?
Exactly.
That's what I think we have to remember, and not so much on this dictating to you that you got to be a certain way. And I think I do believe that's unhealthy for us, and I hope that more studs will hear this part and not that part of this. You can't, and our younger studs will not be damaged to not want to talk with us. I think that's what happens when you have the older crew talking to the younger crew, talking at the younger crew. Let me rephrase that. Talking at them, telling what they can't do, instead of listening and understanding that we fought or let me rephrase that because I didn't, but the generation behind me fought so that we all can be. I can now walk into an interview in a 3-piece suit if I want to with a tie on. Yes, I know I close doors, but I also open up many more that allow people to have to be able to be diverse. I think that's very
important. And I think this too, and tell me what you think. We have this tendency to do, I hate to label it as a male thing, but you get around the table and I do this when it comes to the sexuality that you're talking about, or sexual, in your bedroom. Oh yeah, we do this, we do that, or whatever. And it may not even be what's going on in your bedroom, but you feel that needs to be said because they put this pressure, on you that this is what you better be doing in your bed. I've dated women that don't want a strap, cannot stand a strap.
Exactly.
I'm engaged today to a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful young lady, and whatever it is that she wants is what I want to do, because I want her, to be happy, to be comfortable, and in turn that makes me happy and comfortable. You know what I mean? And I don't have a pressure where I got to sit around in a group and talk about this is what I do in my bedroom, because to me that should be sacred.
That's so sacred, yeah.
Yeah, between you and your partner.
But you know what? If you are going to have that kind of conversation, I'm not knocking, because whatever kind of conversation you have. But if you are going to have that kind of conversation, you should be comfortable with the people that you're having that conversation with, that they're not judging you. That's number one, and you're in a safe space. I personally, like I've said, I do not do penetration on me. I don't have a problem. Now, I almost say this. I have a problem laying on my back now. Let's get it together. We can have fun time. I'm down for that. I am not one. That's just not my cup of tea. But I also find that there is.
Well, it depends on what you're laying on your back doing now.
Fuck, right.
There you go. I was about to say. Let me explain what I'm doing.
Listen.
I think we also have, as a stud, we have this situation where we don't want to admit that we like head.
Absolutely.
We don't want nobody to know.
Yeah, that's a big, that topic is very.
No, boo-boo. I want you to, I'm not a touch me not. And I think that's another thing that people need to understand.
Touch me.
There you go. Thank you. Please. Oh, okay, sorry. But
I just think that studs have it in their mind that they have to be this tough, macho person that has to carry themselves as a male, that is only the giver, or is the person that's pleasing their woman. So like I feel like it's so many titles on being a stud. There's so many like topics on being a stud that it's like people can't, like I said, can't be their authentic self. Like if you're laying on your back getting head, that's perfectly fine. Whatever y'all doing, y'all's behind closed doors, that's your business. Like there's no rules to it. Being your true authentic self.
Let me ask this while you're saying, they're talking about, okay, want to be like a man. What men don't want that done?
Thank you. I was just about to say that, and also this. There's been this moment where I've seen this videos where the film is like, I need to break you down. So I'm gonna put you on your back and put your legs up in the air and remind you're a woman. You ain't got to remind me. I know. I've been living with this body for a real long time.
I know some men's legs be up in
a real long time.
We've been together for a real look. Me and this body been together for a real long time. We know what we working with. Okay, you ain't got to break this down. I think that's another thing that makes studs insecure, is because when I get behind that door, it's okay for me to make you vulnerable, but it is not okay for you to make me vulnerable. And I think that's the other thing of the noise. Let's just talk on that real quick about these ladies be like, oh, you sound like a girl. I am. So
exactly. Yes.
You better say that.
Listen,
you better say it.
I'm a female. What you expect me to sound like? You don't think I'm gonna say nothing?
I guess they just want you to groan like
not,
with your deep voice.
You're not getting Barry White over here. Let me check out the name. You ain't getting no high pitched shit either, but Barry ain't coming.
Now my voice is deep, so everybody sounds a little different.
It's like
now if you hit some Whitney Houston notes, now that's the story. That I need you to,
but my
Hey,
concept, but you know
Hey,
what
but
else
if you
it is?
but if you hit that Whitney Houston, maybe they doing a little something right there.
There you go. I think, and that's the thing is that that's one of the things I will say this, what causes a touch me not. And I'm not saying that there aren't people that just aren't naturally like that, but what will cause a person to be more of a touch me not is because of the fact of I don't feel that you respect my vulnerability.
Right.
Okay. Yes, I might want to get with you.
Got you.
I might want to get with you, but I need to make sure that if you really want me, like I talk, my brothers know I talk mad shit about, smashing, knocking folks down, my past, way, way back in the past.
Mm-hmm. Back in the day.
Back in the day. Back in the day. And it's one of those things that, like, I do understand the fact that every time I am with someone on an intimate level,
you
lose.
Give
you a piece of me.
You lose a part of yourself.
Yeah,
that's you give true. Up a part of yourself.
And I think that's where we have to understand as studs or as masculine identified women that we can be vulnerable. But you got to make sure you have set that tone and that situation up to be able to trust the person that you're going to be vulnerable with. No, I'm not going to be vulnerable with somebody I met at the club last night.
Right.
And I think that's
they might get that Barry White.
Yeah,
or I think it's like that fear that they think they're going to go and tell someone, okay, this is what this stud did, and they're going to go tell their girlfriends or whatever. And I think that's what that stud is afraid of, or what have you. Me, I go tell them what if you.
Well, okay, so I honestly feel like that's something that I fear. Okay, because like whatever, like, because everybody's not going to be like me, so everybody's going to be like, like the woman that I may lay down with, you know what I'm saying? They're probably more open to others than I am, because I'm very secretive, So, right. And whatever I do behind closed doors, that's my business. Versus the person that I lay down with, they're probably more verbal, you know what I'm saying? And like, right. Oh my God, like I liked it. However, she sounded like a girl, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that I fear, because it's like, wait a minute, whatever we do behind closed doors, that's nobody's business. You know what I'm saying? And so here I am walking around.
But I think that comes to communication too, son, about between you and that person that you're with. And I think that's where that
people gonna tell you that's where trust comes in at, because I mean, anybody can tell you, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing. This is between, you and I, or whatever we do behind the closed doors. That's our business. But then next you know it, they having coffee. Girl, let me tell you what happened last night.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. Let's be real about it. They telling because it was good to them. They're going to do two things. You're going to tell all your girlfriends, if you done gave that woman so, and I'm going to say it like heterosexual say.
But I just feel like it's embarrassing.
If you done give them some small dick energy, okay, they going to tell all their girlfriends.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, even if it's good. But even if it's good,
shaking and stuff like that, please understand she's telling her best friend.
But even if it's good or even if it's bad, like that's just embarrassing to me, because it's like people know what I do behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
But you know what? And I know that I feel, and I could get in trouble for this saying, I do feel that more feminine women do share that with their girlfriend.
Absolutely.
And because us as studs don't have that bond like that, and the respect of it. And yes, it happens where a feminine woman will tell a group of her friends, one of her friends might go,
I'm trying to figure out how that is.
Yeah, I ain't never had that happen.
Trying to slide in them DMs.
What you'll find too is some of your film won't say, because they're like, okay, if I tell what goes on in my bed with my partner, then old girl is gonna try to with my partner.
And that's what a lot of studs fear, especially the younger generation. Like they're like, I'm not gonna tell you what's going on, because you're gonna try to, fuck my girl. You know what I'm saying? And like that's the reason why a lot of studs are not cool on that level. You know what I'm saying? Or they're jealous of them, or they envy them, or they're very standoffish. You know what I'm saying? Because they think that, you may want their woman. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's that self-confidence thing too, right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there's also that fact that let's not get it twisted. There's some of these older cats out here. Yes, I did use the word cats. There's some of these older cats out there. ain't doing too
Ooh.
well either. Let's just say they're not doing too well either. They giving out, some bad energy as well. But they talk, like they'll talk amongst the studs, like, oh yeah, I did my thing. No, because she over there telling such and such. No,
She got a different story.
yeah,
She got a whole different
story.
story.
She talking about some wear my shoes and everything, because I ain't ever coming back over him.
Have we not been in some of those conversations? And we sit there.
I'm putting
I can't put nobody out on Jump Street like that.
Wait a minute. I'm not gonna put nobody out there. But we're sitting there listening to that person, and in the back of our head, we're going, but we know the real deal. You just don't know.
We know the truth.
We know the truth. But you keep telling what you're telling. You keep selling the wolf tickets. Okay, that brings us into this topic. Do femmes handle rejection better than masculine identified women?
Ooh, child.
And let me give you several scenarios of the rejection. Rejection in terms of, if I approach you and you tell me no, or we're in a relationship and I end it, like I no longer want to be with her. Who handles it better?
The relationship.
Are studs more in the bushes than the femmes in the bushes? Do studs pop your tires or flex your tires more than femmes?
You got some studs that are stupid like that.
It's not good. But
you got some studs that are stupid like that.
I feel like studs handle rejection better than femmes. The reason for that is because of my personal experiences. Yeah. I had a woman like try to get me fired from jobs.
Yeah.
Like mess up my car, try to get me kicked out of organizations, all that. So I just don't understand. Like, if I don't want you, I don't want you no more.
See, I think that's the thing. Is like I don't wonder, like, as a stud, I know if I've been rejected, baby, ain't nobody gonna know.
I think that goes back to the same thing we're talking about as studs and this false image that studs seem to think that they need to have. It's like, okay, I'm hurt, I'm broken, but I'm not going to let you know. I'm not going to let her know.
Right.
But, I'll get on the phone because, of course, as we know, my son and my bestie on the line here, and that phone has rung. Man, bro, look, I'm going through it right about now, but you don't want another stud or that you don't trust, and I'm saying you as our group of studs to know, because the first thing that like we're talking about these old school studs, you weak. No, it's about I'm a human being with feelings, but that's the pressure that I think is put out there. That there's more women out there because we're supposed to have this image of this playboy type image of, oh no, I'll bounce back from that, just go get me another one. And I'm not really hurt, because it goes back to that intimacy in the bedroom that we're talking about, that vulnerability, where you don't really want people to know that you're hurting, and that's crazy. That's crazy. Because as we say, even in our org, at the end of the day, you are a woman, you are a female, this is crazy, and I think it comes with that trust issue, because then you put on blast in front of everybody else and they're like, oh yeah, man, that's stood over there weak, that she
exactly.
He played her, and it's crazy.
Give me 1 second, guys. We're going to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah.
And, and I'm still going to go into saying that it's also, I think, for me, finding that it's a cultural too. You know what I mean? Because minority studs are just, me personally have found it's just different than other races of studs.
Right.
You know, it's just different, and it was a whole new ball game. And you know, and when Cupid gets back, you know, I'll talk about that. But it's just different. It's different.
It is. It's crazy out here.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Okay. So,
what I was saying, bro, is you know, going back to culture, you know, I found that in minority or of color, studs are different, you know, than in other races. You know, I had to learn this of color stud thing myself because it was new stuff to me that I wasn't, you know, aware or familiar with. You know, just some of the things that we're talking about right now. You know, just different.
I think that is the case. I'm not saying that there are not issues amongst our like our people of color and things of that nature, or even our white counterparts. I do know that they're less, I hate to say, they put less stress on each other.
Less rigid.
Yes, it's less rigid. They're kind of like, it doesn't really matter. They don't, you know, it's not a big deal. They don't have that extra pressure about who gonna be where, who's gonna, if you gonna lay down, I'm gonna lay down. If I'm gonna do you, you're gonna do me. If we gonna be together, blah blah. They don't have any of that. So I wonder, like the thing that I look at is, here's the question in all of that. So if we're able, let's just say we say we're able to handle rejection possibly better than femmes can, does that mean that if a stud has a woman, they say, I don't want to be with you, that stud says, I don't want to be with you, or the woman says she don't want to be with you, the femme says she don't want to be with you, can you handle being in a friend zone?
I can tell you right now, I gotta say something right now. I'm gonna go right here. This is a comment I made already, and this is just me. I don't have a reason to have femme friends.
What? Okay, talk about that. Why is it that you say you have no reason to have femme friends? Talk to me.
Okay, this is the reason I say this, because for me, I'm not. You don't call me talking about let's go shopping. I'm no. That's or call me girl. You know what they said? No. And if I'm going to, just like we doing right now, I will pick up the phone. I'm gonna call Genuine. I'm gonna call you, or I'm gonna go hang out, or we're gonna go do whatever. You know, if I want to do a couple things, it's gonna be somebody I'm dating. But I'm not gonna pick up the phone with a film and say, girl, what's going on with you today? You know, that's just not me. You know, there's just not gonna be things that I feel that I'm gonna sit and chop it up with you about.
But I think you set yourself up. I think that if you agree to be her friend and get in the friend zone, your mental is eventually she'll want me. Okay, that's number one. Number two is if I stay in the friend zone, then yeah, I'm gonna be able to get in. And I think that she puts you in the friend zone because one, she might not be interested, but she sees something in you. Because I've learned as an older stud, now I pass this jewel on, let's drop it, is that it's not that you're doing the wrong thing, sir, ma'ams. Okay? It's not that you're doing the wrong thing. It's that you're the wrong person.
Right.
Because see, here's the thing. I watch these videos where these ladies be talking about stuff. You be talking about the one that says, good night, sweetheart, you have a great night. And you be like, ugh. Then you got that one that says, beep, what you doing? Get your ass up. And you be like, oh, I love him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing that I look at and I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
I'm doing all this stuff to tell you you're beautiful and you're great and you're wonderful. And I wake up in the morning talking about good morning. You can be anything you want to be. You don't be like, oh, because I'm the wrong person saying it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the misconception of us being put. If I like you and I give you that knowledge that I want to be with you, if you tell me, oh, I think you're cute, but we can just be friends, I'm good.
I'm gonna put this out. It's just like, to me, a woman that has a whole bunch of male friends. Why? You gonna tell me that these guys just want to be your friend?
No.
They gonna my friend.
You know,
that dude does not want to always be your friend, even if it's just a friend with benefits. He does not want to hang out with with you.
Well, if they're gay,
Huh? Say it.
as if they're gay boys, I mean, I don't.
I didn't say gay.
No.
But you just saying me in general.
Men.
Okay.
Let's say straight. No.
They don't want to be. Their concept and Stud's concept is that it's a temporary. I'm temporary on the friend zone team. Eventually, she gonna see how great I am because I'm always there for her. I'm always trying to be there for her. That's part of that, and that's where I can say that in that instance, no, Studs cannot handle the rejection because we do not understand that being in the friend zone, you 9 times out of 10 ain't ever gonna get. She will use your ass for everything.
Exactly. Oh, I need
you will do all the boyfriend duties without getting the boyfriend benefits.
And then I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna just keep it real. A stud, you doing all of that, and she paying for this, you doing this, she come to you for this, for that, and then you see her with somebody else. Be real. Even though you're not together, be real. You're gonna feel some type of way. You're gonna feel some type of way. But I just don't have a reason. I can't see me going through my phone through the Rolodex. Well, let me call girl. Let me call Anita. Let me call Anita. Anita.
Anita.
Okay. So here's the
girl.
thing.
We going to the nail salon. What you do?
You want to go?
No.
You want to go?
No. Do not.
What am I gonna call it? What am I gonna call a chick for?
You know what it is? Here's what she gonna do. She gonna call you and she gonna say, "What you doing?" And you gonna say, "I ain't doing nothing." She be like, "Come over and watch movies with me."
Yeah, right.
And then she's gonna lay. And I'm gonna say it. Here's the fucked up part. She gonna say, "Lay on me. Let me lay on you." You so nice. Oh, I'm gonna lay. No, you will not play games with me. And here's the thing: how many of us, okay, studs, will put a film in the friend zone? Look, I'm sorry, y'all. That hurt coming out. I had to hold a laugh deep down inside because I was like, "That, woo, never." We're not gonna do that. If we either want, because I hate to say this, but and I know there are people out there that are gonna say, "No, that's not true. I can be her friend." I never said I couldn't be her friend. I'm not gonna put her in the friend zone. Okay, that means that if I meet her, she automatically is either my friend or somebody I'm trying to be with. And don't get me wrong, I know my bro said that she does not have any film friends, but we do know film people that we are friendly with and that we are cool with. We have, but they not my, I have one film homegirl. That's it. And I'm good. Outside of that.
But see, it's like this. You might have films that you work with or whatever. I don't have your phone number.
I don't need to call you every day.
You and your girls are going. We're going to happy hour. You gonna call me? I'm not calling you to go to happy hour, girl.
But even if studs are like film friends, like it always has to be classified as they're messing around, like all the time, and that frustrates me because I have like straight female friends and they don't even look at women like that. And just because we hang out, it's so, oh, you messing with her? I knew she was like that. Da da da. That's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And that's a little different because that automatically is a friend environment. I am with you because you are my friend. I meant you that way. I never had an interest to want to be with you. But if I look at a young lady and I want to be with her, like I'm trying to be her girl, and I'm trying to be with you, I'm trying to build something, and then you tell me you're not interested, and I go, okay, I'm putting you in a friend zone, it's never gonna happen. I don't even have a friend zone like that because that's wasting my time. And that's just me. If we're gonna be friends, I'm friends with my girlfriend, I'm friends with my wife, that we have a friendship. That woman, that feminine woman is who I'm friends with. Let
me go here. Now, you may have, say you got kids, okay? And you got the school activities or if you're coaching or whatever. So then films in that manner. You know what I mean? So when I say about film friends, that manner, this is the mother of my kids, schoolmate or what have you. But again, I'm not going to call you off the rip talking about let's go do.
Like, we're not going to Starbucks. We're not going to, no.
No, we're not going to get coffee. For what? And so I can hear you talk about gossip. No. I don't need to do that. I'll see you at the school activity. How you doing? Good to see you. How's your kid? How's your husband? Boom.
There you go. So here's another one. Who forgives? Who's more forgiving? Who will forgive you? A film or stud?
Forgiving a relationship or
no, like you do something, you fuck up.
Films are very.
Film is gonna forgive you, or will a stud forgive? Who does it more?
That film is not gonna forget. They don't ever forget.
They don't forget, but they'll forgive.
I think it's more studs are more forgiving of the bullshit, to give a second chance and a third chance and stuff like that. Whereas your films be like, you're out. Your first fuck up.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the films are more forgiving because like they're more into it as far as their feelings. And so we protect our feelings as studs, to some extent. And so like I feel like they're gonna forgive because they really want to be with us or want to be friends with benefits, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So they are more forgiving.
I agree with you there because they forgive stuff that I've seen in relationships that I can't even understand why they're forgiving and staying.
Right.
What are you doing? What do you really that happened? And I don't mean like the speed bumps that you have in relationships that we all do, but these constant things of where the way you're being treated and the way that you're being talked to and those kinds of things or what have you. And they'll forgive it and just stay. When you got somebody else over here that wouldn't do that to you.
That's where I get confused at. You got one stud that talks crazy to you. And that's my bitch. And yes, I'm gonna say it like that. That's my bitch, and she do this, and she, and
right.
And I got you right here, all under my arm, and then I got this other stud that comes to that woman and says, you know what, beautiful, you are gorgeous. I just want to let you know, you bright my life, you bring sunshine, blah blah, all that. And I wondered to myself, why does that woman pick the one that's a little bit harsh on the language? I'm gonna be nice about it, a little harsh with the language, versus the person that is trying to uplift you. And you don't
because they want that hard stud, that the one that they think they're safe with. That's what they want. Like in today's society, you think that the person that says that you're beautiful or open doors for you or holds your hand and stuff like that, and is very a gentle woman. Like
you're getting flowers.
Yes,
getting,
like you think that they're soft or they're soft or they're not masculine enough or they're a pushover or whatever.
You're not hard. I'm gonna walk through the door before you and really?
Yeah.
Really? I'm just not built that way. I never have been built that way, but I suffered that quite a bit, because I'm reaching out to open your doors and that most people that know me know there are certain things that I would never say to a woman. Never.
And I've came across a lot of women that were very damaged because of that. And what I showed them, they were taken back a little bit and didn't know how to accept it. And so that put a damper into our relationship because they didn't know how to accept it.
Agreed.
So, do you think that's a large majority of women pretty much out there in our kind of like in the dating pool right now, that they are? Well, I know I'm seeing a lot of women, whether stud or femme, doing a lot of healing. Let's be understanding that we are now understanding how important our mental health is and how damaged we possibly are to get help to overcome that. So I do want to give praise to those, or kudos to those that are understanding and not carrying that luggage to the next relationship. But I wondered to myself, if that, will they, are they able to really have long relationships once we've gotten past the healing, and are studs open to be able to? Because I've heard studs say stuff like, well, I'm a woman too. Why she can't open my door? need you not
See,
look like that, no, bro.
I think
Bro, look like, what the hell?
when we talk about the longevity, I think that goes back to some of the things we talked about in podcasts before about how, for some reason, in LGBTQ relationships, XYZ, double L, MOP, and all of that, that we bounce from person to person and just so quick to get into a relationship and let's move in and let's do this and let's, and I'm sure it happens in heterosexual relationships, but I don't see it happening as much and as often as we do. That's why they make the joke about the U-Haul. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like I don't see the loyalty. It's so quick to jump out there and cheating and just I don't get it. I don't. You with this person for a couple of months and all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're not together anymore. You already jumped into another relationship and they moving from out of town and out of state and out of countries and overseas. And I don't get that. I really. A lot of people had the misconception that I had all of these women or whatever because of my personality or whatever, which was not true. People just still don't believe it. Every woman talk to you. I don't know.
I need y'all to understand that is the most funniest thing, though, is because everybody thinks my bro is or was a player. No, she's not. But it is hilarious because yes. Many of us thought that in the beginning was like, she a player. Nope. No, she's not.
No, she's not a player, but I thought.
Well, it's because of the way women respond. I don't have anything to do with how they respond. That wasn't. I just smile. That's all I do. I just, a muscle.
We all can tell the stories. Yes, we can. So, what? One of the things that I'm noticing as well is there is a fluctuation of the film. What I mean by that,
wait a minute, bro. I really do want to hear you guys' opinion on that of the multiple partners, the lack of lasting relationships. How many can we really sit up there and say that they are still together or been together or married or what have you? For a long time, I'm one of those who's just very adamant about, I'm not living with you if I'm not married to you. I'm just not going to do that. I mean, it's just,
I think that, okay, so our rights to get married are fresh and new, okay? It's new. It be legally, let me rephrase that, be legally married. That's some new stuff. That's new. I don't think everybody understands what marriage really entails. There's work to be done. If you start dating, you dated a couple of people, and then you picked that one and you said, this is gonna be my woman. And then you said, this is my girlfriend. Being my girlfriend and being my wife, that's very different.
Right.
It's not real different, but it is very different because when we're dating, you can go home to your house. Okay, you got your own car, you drive wherever you want to go. Not saying that changes when we become, when you become my wife, but what it is that it's a daily thing. You now have to deal with all of my crazy 24/7, and I have to deal with all your crazy 24/7. And if I don't really, and then here's the other thing. Do not let your girlfriend or your stud, either or, stop being around their friends. Encourage them to have a girl night. Encourage them to go out with her friends. If she ain't got no friends, tell that hooker to go find some friends. Go make some friends. Because you can. I'm being serious. You cannot just live up under your woman.
Because everybody, you gotta have, absolutely, you gotta have your, absolutely.
Because here's what's gonna happen.
Go visit your family. You got these that don't want their wives or their girlfriends to go visit family. They don't want them to go see their friends. They don't want to go. Really?
And I know there are some of us who do not have good relationships with our family. That's understandable. We're not saying if you have a good relationship. Here's the thing. If I'm with you and you're my girlfriend, and you on Tuesdays you went to Taco Tuesday with your girlfriends, don't stop that.
Go to Taco
Saturdays, if you go, because I'm gonna go hang out with my bros, as well on whatever day we hang out. You have to have that. Keep that. I think that kind of like spice there. And the
Yeah.
other thing is that if I'm up
Balance.
under you, yes, if I'm up under you, then you all of a sudden we've been up under each other for, let's say, a year. All we did is you and me, everywhere we went, just you and me. I went to everything that you went to. You went to everything I went to. We never went out with our friends separately or even together. We didn't go with other couples. It's just always been me and her.
And I think you should do couple things. You should do couple things.
But it's just y'all, there comes a day when, let's say her boss says he wants her to take some training classes. She got to take classes. So she got after hours, she got to study. She brings home her books. She starts studying. That's less time she's spending with you. Now you got an attitude because she's got growth happening. Right? She's having her mind open. She's learning new stuff. And if you stay in that little hole that you and her have been in as she is growing and upping her, and you're not encouraging her, and you're not growing either, guess what? That's when we have that division where now our relationship is no longer
growing apart.
We have to.
Even if you have your own hobby, like everybody knows, I'm going to train. I'm going to work out. And if you have a problem with that and want me to stop doing that, we can't move forward.
It ain't happening.
Because you knew that was who I am when you met me. I have my drums. I have, the hobbies that I have. And I wouldn't want you to stop yours either. So, so that hour and a half of training is going to be away from you. Yeah. Or whatever else it is that's going on. And you shouldn't, I love museums and all that. We could go and do those things together. But then there are some things, I don't mind training together, whatever, but don't take away those things. And then, whatever I have at work or whatever, just like our organization, just like the podcast we're doing right now. There are a lot of people that will have an issue with, well, you on that podcast all night. Really?
And then the subjects that you're talking about, I should be able to talk. I'm going to be real with you. If you are a beautiful woman and you're not my woman, but I see you out, what's wrong with me telling you that you're a beautiful woman? I'm with a beautiful woman. She's secure. She might even be like, look, babe, look at her. She's, you can have that. There's nothing wrong. It's what it is you taking that next step. That's when the problems come in. If you keep my thing is, if you are really into that other person, and this is something that older Black people, so my uncle and my aunties have told me, that when you look at your partner, you should see yourself in their eyes.
Yeah.
That is how you know. And the thing is that I want to put out, if I'm putting out that energy to you, letting you know it is about you, then you need to give me that same energy back. And I think what we have is I become a new toy. Yeah. Then all of a sudden I'm not a new toy no more. Right. We're into the country, this particular country, whether you heterosexual or homosexual, we are so into instant gratification.
Right.
Me and my brother are real quick to tell you 30 ways in 30 days.
30 ways in 30 days.
I don't need a lot of women. I need one that understands that she change. Because Black women, people have heard me say, Black women can change their looks every 2 weeks, and I love it.
I got a 30 days and 30 ways.
Exactly. You come, look, she left, she was B. Came back, Nikki, or she came back with Cynthia, or, she came back with Samantha. That shit is hot. I don't know if y'all ever experienced it out there or watching us, or that will be watching us, but that right there is an amazing thing about Black women. Yeah. And that's what I think you have to look at is it's work. This shit ain't easy. Now I'm gonna tell you, being single and older sucks like hell. I'm telling you, sucks. But when you get in a good relationship, a healthy, good relationship, there's nothing that you all can't accomplish. And then here's the thing.
I can't comment on that statement you just made like I want to.
About the streets being the pits?
No.
Okay, we just gonna let it go. We just gonna let it go then. Here's we're gonna let it go because I can't get in trouble either. Okay. But, that I thought I was like, can't get in trouble either. But here's the thing. Y'all have to understand, we talk a lot of shit, y'all, but we are
you can't say nothing pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky, you can't say nothing either.
No, see, they ain't single.
See, I'm
They
over
ain't
here quiet. I'm over here
They
quiet.
ain't single. I'm single. Hello, I'm single. I can say these things a little bit. But I think that as we're going into some things, I think you have to look at both people. First of all, communication is one aspect of it, but comprehending is actually the key. Just because we communicate does not mean that both of us comprehend what each other said.
Right.
Okay. And I think you have to have, this is the thing that I think we all have to work at, is the communication. I think a lot of us are afraid to express how we feel because we don't want her to leave. And I mean that on a stud and a femme level. So I'm willing to tolerate her, maybe me being mad because I don't like the way she do such and such. But you got to say something, because if you don't say anything, they will keep doing whatever that is that irritates you. And what that does, it just builds up. And that's when you look at the person, you'll like them. And I think you also have to remember what I did to get you. I have to continue.
You have to keep doing it to keep.
That's part of the game. Let me just be real. That's part of the game. If I dated you and I did these things, I need to do those things when you're my girlfriend. I need to do those things when you're my wife.
Get comfortable.
Yes, and you have to give each other, the biggest thing I'm going to say is in this whole aspect, you got to give each other space to be able to enjoy something on their own so they can come back and tell you about it. I think it's amazing when a feminine woman goes and hangs out with her girlfriends and then, goes to brunch with either her sorors.
Get some mimosas.
Yeah, get some mimosas. And then she comes back, and then you can talk to her. She gonna tell you everything, of course.
Yeah, all the school.
She gonna tell you all the tea that was poured. She will let you know.
What happened, child?
Yeah, she gonna let you know how the food was. She gonna let you know she had a good time. And that to me is just as good. And that also allows you to have that break. I need to miss you. You know what I'm saying? I need to go, I didn't know you wore that out. I know I saw you leave. I didn't realize what you had on. Girl, it's looking good. I think you have to have those moments, Right. One of the things I'm learning or seeing as a new thing is that I'm seeing more aggressive film.
What do you mean?
Aggressive film. These are women who know the fuck they want.
Oh,
they ain't got no problem telling it to you.
Don't tell them no, because they gonna get
baby.
Ooh, yeah.
And I think that's the thing is that they like, and they
them aggressive films is fucking
serious. They like, dude, I want you now. You're mine. That's an aggressive woman. I don't know. Me personally, I'm not ready for that. Look, I'm not ready for that kind of.
Hey, bro. Hey, what'd you tell me? Oh, you already married, got kids, a house.
Man, this was like, I want y'all to understand.
The first time I came across aggressive film, I was nervous.
Year when I said this, I said, this woman is she done married. She know what she wants. She know that. Baby, she was not playing. She did not play with my bro. She let my bro. Now I'm gonna say this. When this particular woman, she let my bro have all the time my bro needed. She was not enough. It was in the back of her mind. She said, oh, yes, I will be Miss Franklin. Don't worry about that. I got that. You take your time. I know what I'm doing. Baby, I told my brother, and I was not wrong. I was not wrong at all. No. And I think that nowadays, I'm not sure it's bad to have an aggressive film. But how do y'all feel about that? The new sexy is the aggressive film. Is that a turn on?
When I cross paths with an aggressive film, I got nervous because I was like, wait a minute. Just wait a minute.
You say just wait a minute.
It just took my words out of my mouth. I was like, wait, did you just do that? Or did you just say that? I didn't have no words. I was just like, you know what? I don't even know if I like that. I just don't know. So it just made me, yeah. Just wait. Whoa. Wait a minute. That.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, because I was like, I didn't know. Because you think of a film as somebody that's very passive, or they're very submissive or whatever. Whoo, yeah. When I came across that, I said, "Oh my God, I didn't even know y'all existed."
I'll let you know they out there. And they serious. They're like, I want this one young lady. She said, "If I want you," and I say, "Take your clothes off." I was like, I was nervous.
Yes.
She wasn't talking to me. I got nervous.
Hey, bro. You know? It looked like, look, I feel so violated.
I was clenching all the pearls. I was like, oh my God, let me clench my auntie pearls.
I feel so violated.
And here's the catch. She wasn't talking to me. She was just the video that I watched. But the power, the way she did it, I was like, I kind of felt a little violated, but then I was kind of turned on
because I was like,
I feel so violated.
I was violated, but then I was like,
yeah, I was like, am I supposed to like this or like?
I felt that in my soul.
Exactly, that kind of touched me a little bit. I didn't know really what to do. I kind of looked around and I was like, I know she ain't talking to me because she don't know me, but that kind of made me feel like,
Did you do one of these? You went, oh.
Wait, yeah,
that's the one. That is the one.
Actually, it was more like this. It was like, oh, wait a minute. She's not talking to me. Wait a minute. I was like, let's put the stuff back on. Wait a minute. You know,
stop
it was that kind of thing.
Ooh, child.
Yes. Let me look.
Have a little sweat dripping. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And I don't think that's anything.
Hey, what can William say? Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
You are a boy. You are a boy. You are not in jail. Wait a minute.
Take our time. Just wait a minute. Let me get my bearings. You know, but I think that is, and to me, I think that's a good thing. Let me say that. I think it's good because for feminine women to be aggressive, that means that they know. They understand what they want, they understand how they want it, and they understand that they're not, and you cannot waste their time. So they're very understanding about if you don't know what you're doing or you cannot give them, and it's not about sex. Let me go ahead and say that real quick.
Right.
It's not about sex, it's the way they carry themselves and yes, that
their demeanor
they give you and the demeanor, the behavior. But if you're not ready for that, then don't come play over here.
Ooh, don't dig that hole. Just go ahead and put that shovel up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a topic out there, and I know you have your format, bro. But studs and straight women, and getting into relationships with a straight woman, and the concern of whether that woman will stay in that type of relationship or
go back.
I think it is how. I think it's how it's done. Okay. I think that there are women out there that are so upset, and I'm going to use the word upset or disappointed or discouraged by men, and they understand that a woman can consult them. Okay. I think that there's that curiosity of being with a woman. I think that's some of it on some people's parts, but I do think that if you approach this, I'll say like this, if that stud, first of all, that stud has to be understanding about that straight woman. If you are not understanding about that straight woman and her mental, how she has always, that she thinks male, female, it's not gonna work. I think, and also you cannot just jump in the bed with a straight woman. I know that there are people who are doing it, but I think that you have to. That's a very intimate thing that she's doing. And I think so. You have to have somebody that has that patience, has that understanding. We've talked about this. You and I've talked about this. The fact that if you're going to be involved with a straight woman, the second time you either are with her, don't get physical. Don't start trying to kiss her and hold her hand and love on her. She's not that, because she got to understand. She's got to be. I don't know if I'm picking the right words. There has to be an understanding there. You feel what I'm saying? There has to be a comfort. There you go. She needs to make sure. First of all, she needs to make sure that it's not just about knocking down a straight girl. Okay. I think that's where we're running into some problems with people, is that it's all about, I knocked down a straight girl. Or the straight girls like, oh, I got done up by a stud. I got down with the film. I'm not saying it can't happen, because I do believe very heartily that individuals are individuals, fall in love with anybody. That's the right person for you. Whether it's a male, female, whether they're black, white, that's up here. He does all of that, right? I do feel like there's so many of us. One, I think straight women are frustrated, and I'm gonna say black straight women are frustrated with possibly the games that black men that they are surrounded by, not all, but that they are in their circle are playing. I think you have to look at, when I say this, you have to think about Cat Williams when he made the statement is, you complain about these ain't shit Negroes, you might want to check, and that might be the reason why you attracting the ain't shit, person, because you giving off ain't shit vibes. I'm not trying to be ugly or disrespect for anyone, but I feel like that is a true statement, right? I think that
what do you feel would make it where if this woman is straight, she's always straight. She's straight, period. But she's with you. But what makes it not where that eventually not go back to that life?
I think you have that. I think as women, let's break it all the way down. As women, I touch a woman very differently than that man does. Mm-hmm. Okay. And when you have a woman that is open, first and foremost, it's not that she just wants to, I just want to see what it's like to be with another woman. No. When you have literally cultivated this woman and you've got to know her, and now we've got to where she understands intimacy, because not all men understand intimacy. Let's just be real. That every black man, white man, men of color, they don't always understand intimacy, or they don't know how to be intimate. Let's just put that out there. And if this woman has always been involved with men who are, thank you, and they never think about her, and then this stud comes along, tells her that she's beautiful, don't want nothing, tells her, hey, I think, you look nice in that, don't want nothing. Those are compliments that she ain't heard before. And I think that you also have to look at the fact of you've cultivated, she's open to want to receive who you are. We touch souls. Every man don't know how to do that. I think men are learning. Okay. I will tell you this, men are more open to want to understand it. But it's also, we're finding that men are having to deal with their vulnerability as well. So I think you can keep that woman, and you no longer have to look at her as a straight woman when you're with her, because she's not. She is a woman that is interested in you. And we all know that there are women out there, I hate to say it like this, they're gay just for you. It means if you're not with them, they ain't going to be with another woman. Now, I don't know if that means they're going to go to men, but they won't be with another woman, because when a woman loves a woman, that's some powerful shit. I mean, if you really, truly love that one, y'all love each other, ain't no man, please understand, no man walking this earth break that. You cannot. Now, if you treat her badly, you constantly treat her badly, and she tells you, this is not how I want to be treated, and you don't listen, you can't be mad when she walks away. That's whether she's straight or gay. That's just your partner. I do think that there is that piece in there that you have to really, it's not a quick thing to be with a woman who's been naturally with men. You know what I'm saying? I hate to keep saying straight girls.
Genuine, what do you have to say on this? You're the younger generation.
I think I think that sometimes straight women are just doing it because that's their fantasy to be with a woman. Or to say that they've slept with a woman before, blase. But I also feel like there's women out there that have been done so wrong by men that they're just honestly out here looking for genuine love. So they don't care if it's they're open-minded to the fact that it can possibly be with a woman. So they don't put a what am I trying to say? They're open to being with a woman, so they're willing to try it. And then, you know, who's to say they may fall in love, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, be swept off their feet for the rest of their life, happily ever after. I don't feel like it's an issue. I just feel like it becomes an issue when that straight woman is in a relationship married to a man and is not done right, and and they're trying to find a way out. And of course it's easier to say, oh, this is my friend, as a woman, versus versus chilling with a man. And that, you know, of course the husband is feeling some type of way because it's a man, so it's easier to cover it up as, you know, as chilling with a friend, you know, being a stud or a femme, whatever, a woman, and they're playing with feelings at that point, because feelings will grow.
And I'm bringing that back around to this thing with the older studs, bro, which is, where are they in what are they saying in reference to this about, you know, since everything else is, you can't do this, you can't do that.
I think that they do. That is something that they tell you can't do. You should not be with, you know, a straight girl. You know, that's not good. I do think in the back of your mind, as time goes on, as you get in that relationship, it will dwindle away the thought that maybe she will leave. But then you also have to have trust. Sometimes, and I'm gonna say this, sometimes you just have to go on faith, right? Y'all have to step out there. We love on faith. We love on faith. We do. We give our hearts. We trust that person gonna hold on and not break it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. That is, and it goes. It's the same. I think you have to have that same attitude with a straight girl. Okay.
So again, with these older studs, so this to them, all of these different things that they're saying makes you not a stud. And that's why I put that in there. Mm-hmm. You know, all of these pressures of what's going on, or why so many younger studs are lost. They don't know what to wear. They don't know how to present themselves. They don't even understand or see where there are married couples with kids that have graduated from college, or you're going to support your kid, or, you know, all the same things that are being done, you know, with this type of pressure.
Like you got these older studs telling these young studs don't have children. I think it is great. Here's my thing. I think you are a woman, okay? We were put here, I'm not saying this in a very, you know, kind of bad way, but we were put here to create life.
That's true.
Right? I think even as a stud, we want that opportunity. We have the ability. Why can't and it doesn't always mean, and here's the thing that I think people need to realize, it ain't always the natural way.
But you may have a partner that cannot have a child, and you as a stud can. That doesn't make you, in my mind, less of a stud because you want a family with your partner and your partner can't.
These older studs are they really don't want you to, that is girly stuff. You don't do that. That's not what studs do. Please understand, I was born this way. I'm built, this at one point, you know, as we all look at our different religions and the fact of what women are here for, one of the things that we're here for is to bring life. We hold the essence and nurture the nation. That is what we do. You know, and whether I'm a stud or a straight female or even a femme, I'm a woman. Yes, at the end of the day, I carry all the tools. There are some of us who give up that is their choice. And I respect that. There's some of us who decide, I adopted my child. It didn't change who he is. He loved him. That's my baby. It's my baby. Right. You know what I'm saying? But also, if I had a partner and we were in a relationship and she said, well, I can't have children. If I could, I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. I'm older, so of course, at this point in my life, no, I can't, you know, per se. But I look at it like, I don't knock us. I think it's beautiful to see studs have children, be pregnant, and experience that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. As long as you are respectful to that child, you nurture that child, and you give that child everything you can, and you love, all means, do what you do.
And again, that's why so many young studs are just lost. And, you know, and I think these older studs are making it where they end up living, the younger studs living life unhappy because they don't have a positive role model, a positive thing, in their comfort. So they're lost, they're confused. It's like, who do I listen to? And if they don't have parents that are into understanding their gender, understanding their sexual orientation, then where does it come from? What do you do?
I've said this before in other settings, like when I did Butch Voice this year, and that was my statement. It is our duty. It is part of you growing older that we mentor to the younger group. And here's the catch. When you start, when you're an older stud and you mentoring to the younger group, please understand they gonna mentor to you. There is nothing. I don't know everything. So I'm open to any stud, whether they are my age, younger, or even older. I want to know. And I think that makes us better people. Because even if it doesn't apply to me, I might hear it. I might hear another stud, whether they're younger or older, say, I don't know. Well, guess what? Such and such told me this. Let me give you this jewel. Because that's the thing that I think we're missing, is that the older studs are like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're not helping them, like we've said. And I think that's that closed mind, that scary thing about if they change, that means you got to change. No, you still do whatever it is you do. If you walk around, and I'm being, really truthful on this. If you walk around with your strap every day, that's your business. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And there's the other thing. If you are a stud and you don't know how to clean your strap, you have a problem right there. Because no one is out here telling you. No one is out here mentoring to you. These older studs, don't keep that information to yourself. I learned even though they were younger than me, I learned from drag kings, that were in my community. That when I became part of their family, they gave me some insight that my uncles, my dad, they didn't give me. They added polish to who I am. You understand what I'm saying? And they gave me confidence that even if I wanted to wear something a certain way, I wanted to wear anything. If I wanted to wear a kilt, that kind of thing, they encouraged me to be able to have that. It didn't say, no, you can't wear a skirt. If that's what you want to wear the skirt, but you better wear it well. You know what I'm saying? That's where I think, that's where I think fraternities come in. Okay. That's our job as well. Okay. As fraternity members, we need to make sure our members are like that.
Absolutely.
Have that confidence. Hey, when you're Sigma Omega Phi, you should be able, do you. We have that versatility, we have that versatileness in our organization. I look at other orgs, other fraternities for studs, they have it too, and they embrace it. Right? There's some older studs, there's younger studs. That is how you get to have that bond. And that's how you get to have those jewels drop. And please understand, some of these young cats, yes, again, I'm using that word. The young guys have those, they got jewels to drop as well. Don't just think just because, like our collegiate group, we got young bros that are in college. Don't think they kids. Yes, we call them our kids, but at the end of the day, we drop some serious jewels. They have knowledge, and we need to listen to that because we've given them the freedom. We broke they broke the ceiling so we could be whoever, my brother said, authentic that you want to be.
One thing that my parents and the matriarchs always said, in every conversation, no matter who that conversation may be with, you come away with education of some type, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. Every conversation that you have in your life, you learn something if you open your mind and listen. Doesn't matter whether it's that toddler that's 2 years old or that 5-year-old, because you never know what's going to come out of a 5-year-old's mouth. You just don't know. Just wait, but we're so closed-minded. And when you're talking about, like, especially the older studs, I know this, I know. Where did you even get that from? Because you're older. They didn't even have the abilities and the opportunities that are today. There was no such a thing as binary and all the other things that are going on today. So where is your knowledge and all of this ism, as my grandmother would say, that you come up with? You haven't even grown with society. You haven't even, now kids are now able to be, prom kings and queens, in LGBTQ world. They're going to proms and taking their girlfriends to the prom. That wasn't even heard of. No. You better not even walk down the hall and say that you had a girlfriend. Now
holding hands, none of that.
Absolutely.
I think that we have to look at it. The older studs need to really relax. I hate to say it like that, but they do. And I hate to say they because I'm part of the older studs, but I look at it like I'm open to want to know what I like to have the conversation. Conversation.
Well, I'm going to throw it out there. Who would have ever thought Niecy Nash would be married to a woman?
No, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I look at their relationship, and that's a genuine love of individuals. If you love a human being, love that human being. Yep. You're a man and you love another man. Love that person. Nothing's wrong with that. My last thing is this. We're going to answer this question and we're going to call it a night. Is the chase what excites you? Or is it getting the woman?
I never really thought about either.
Because we got people out there. I like the chase.
I mean,
at the end, I want the woman.
Yeah, I have friends that they get a thrill off of the chase, but I mean, I'm just my true authentic self, and if I get you, I get you. If I don't, okay, bet, kudos.
I guess I looked at it as a chase. I just it was it was you date or whatever, and if it works out, it works out. I never thought about it as I'm out for this one.
For me, I think it's a little bit of both, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I think if that's the woman that I'm attracted to, that chase is exciting. It's exciting to know that now when I say the chase, I mean like, first of all, I refuse to chase any woman. That is not what I mean. I mean that getting to know, that getting her attention, how did I get her phone number? Did I get her phone number? And then the buildup of calling her, the buildup of talking to her, of getting to know her. I think those things are exciting to me because that's the woman that I want to be with. You understand what I'm saying? Then being with her, and I hate to say getting her because that makes it sound like I went and got a phone. Now I got a girlfriend. It's not like that, but it's that once you know that she's yours, right? When you've touched her, you say, this is my woman. I think that to me is just as exciting to build that relationship as well. Does that make sense?
I guess right. So when after you get her, after the chase, then does that thrill go away?
No, it should not.
I guess for me, when it goes back
it's not going to go away because that's the thing is that I'm a very high desired person. So my wanting that person and getting that connection, building that connection with her is the next thing to going into. Now she's with me. We're together. Now we get to have more fun. Now I know I got somebody to go to dinner with. I got, what I'm saying? We're going to share stuff. We're going to do stuff. And then getting...
I guess for me, it goes back to just like we were talking about what people thought that I dated a whole lot of people. I've always been that shy, people don't believe it, that shy, nervous type. So, there was never this thrill thing about, trying to get this person to go out or whatever, because I was never the one to really go and ask anybody out or fun, because I've always been that kind of shy person. So it was never I never had that kind of, anticipation, excitement, and I'm a loner. So, which people don't believe that either, because there are always so many people around, or the things that I do involve people, but I have no problem going to movies and doing things by myself, and that's been all my life since I was a little kid. I wasn't that popular kid. I was that 4.0 student, and the only reason they knew me was because I was an athlete too, or a musician too, so I never really had that, that thing, so.
That's why I think it's a thrill for me because I am shy. So for me to step out my comfort zone and go to a woman and say, hi, first of all, I'm not really sure. I've never really done the dating thing, which is interesting because everybody that I've dated, you've been in my circle. So it's kind of like we all get together. You bring your homegirl that's single. And that's how I ended up getting to talk to her. I was like, oh, she's cute. And then I'll make a joke or I'll hit on her, kind, nice, whatever. That's how it is. But I've never had it just been somewhere and actually taken the step to go to a table and go,
absolutely.
Can I get your number?
Absolutely never. Absolutely.
Never done that. But the thrill, and I don't want to say it's a thrill to see if you can, to kind of like chase the woman, but it is the excitement of, oh, I'm attracted to her and she really wants to, and she's willing to talk, like she wants to talk to me too. Woo! Those are exciting moments because then you go, I'm attracted to her. It's different if you're not attracted to the person. You know, then you're like, oh, hi.
I think for me, it even made me more nervous. It made me more fearful, you know. So instead of an excitement for me, it was always an anxiety for me, you know,
now,
always.
That's a good thing. Is that something that you think most studs have to deal with? I know men do. No, men deal with that because they have, you know, that's the kind of concept is that as a man, you have to go and say hello to that woman and go, can I take you out? And then when your fear of her rejecting you, do you feel like a lot of studs have that same anxiety?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even, for me, it wasn't just a rejection. It was just a nervousness and an uncomfortable thing about not knowing really what to say or what to do. You know, I think I just, over time, is just be me. And I think that's why when people thought what they thought, you know, why she smiles and everybody responds, because that's me. That's just who I am. I'm just not the kind that ever, you know, would go up and, hey, what's going on? No, people, you know, they come up and I smile and speak and that's it, you know, because that's as far as comfortable as I've ever really been. And they normally go further. You know what I mean? And then I have a little more comfort zone. So it was never, you know, that excitement of a chase never was there because it was the opposite for me. I felt more uncomfortable with a chase or something like that, if that makes sense. So that's why that's a question I really couldn't expand on or answer because I've never been comfortable with that. You know?
I do think that there's studs out there, whether they're older or younger, that are more looking at the chase. So that's where you get a lot of women, right? You get a lot of women. And then there's that level of not caring about how they feel. And you sell them this possible, I want to be with you. And you're not really trying to be with them. You know what I'm saying? You're not really, you're just trying to get that one ultimate goal of sleeping with them, not really being in, you don't really want the relation. You just want to get in the, you know, panties and stuff. All right, guys.
That goes back to, before you go, that goes back to that thing that we were talking about with this image that these studs have. Yes. Oh yeah, I got all these women and all these women want me. And so they get around this round table and talk about all these women that they have, you know, and I think that goes along with that fake, that facade that we've been talking about.
Yes, I agree. I think that is it. I think that once again, there's lots of work that we know as studs we have to do. We need to do it together. We need to help each other. That really, I think, is the big thing is to really mentor to studs, to each other. It doesn't matter your age. It's all about everybody's exposure level, as we know, is very different. We need to help each other and listen, really listen to what someone's giving you. I'm going to let y'all go. We have had awesome conversation. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to work on this tomorrow. I promise I'm working on this tomorrow. And we will be back. And we probably will skip. This one will go out. Let me see, because I know I'm going to take this one out. But this will hit, I'm hoping, the 15th. This one should hit the 15th. The one that we previously did, I'm going to hit it out next week. It'll actually be posted next week. This one will be posted on the 15th. We're going to skip. It'll be the only one we do in December. And then we will set up something after the 5th.
And then where can everybody find the podcast and see it?
You will be able to find this on realboystalk.org. You will be able to find it on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ I believe it's Stud Health. We'll put it on our Instagram, which I believe is Instagram Real Boys Talk as well. I'll make sure that there's a flyer put out so that everyone knows when it has been uploaded and is ready to view. And so we can always post it out there as well. I am working on getting better at our consistency because I want us to be able to, you know, talk about more things. What we talk about next time, I have no idea. There are so many topics out there that we need to talk about.
Right.
And we will talk a little bit possibly in January about human trafficking. We will do a little touch on that possibly because that does happen in our community. We do need to have that conversation. And that really does talk more about our youth. And that, when I say that, I'm not talking about, today we talked about the studs that are 21 up. Okay. When we talk about the human trafficking, we're probably going to talk about our teenagers. Okay. And touch on a couple of things and some bad men out there in this world that have done horrible things to young ladies. So we will have those kind of conversations in January. So this will be our last podcast of the year. And then we will all get together. Most likely the next podcast will come after our Houston trip, guys. So yes, I will be getting my ticket really soon, hopefully by the end of next week. Otherwise, I'm gonna be real mad. Other than that, guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for doing this with me. And you guys have a great
night. You too.
Night.
Night.
Night.